I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and it's something a little bit different on the channel, and I've alluded to discussing this previously. Um, it's about some other adventures beyond boating. And since being in the USA particularly, I have had the privilege to do some amazing things, some very cool stuff. And this was one of the highlights. So what we're talking about today is the Rebelle Rally. And the Rebelle Rally is an amazing off-road rally navigation challenge. The elevator pitch for which is that it's America's longest off-road rally using zero digital navigation. That's right, it's all map and compass navigation. And it happens to be for women. So my history with the Rebelle, in 2022, I was lucky enough to be asked to join a lady that I'd met in the rally, and I had never heard of it before. I'd also never done a whole lot of off-roading before, a little teensy bit in Australia many, many years ago. So the whole experience was going to be something new to me. And I also hadn't really done a lot of camping before, not for a very, very long time. So anyway, I signed up and thought, why not? Let's go, let's do this. And we started with some training in Moab with Barlow Adventures, which was spectacular. And the area around Moab blow you away. And the training was amazing also. And then, of course, before we knew it, the start of the rally was there and we were off. We started tech inspection at Lake Tahoe and then out to Nevada and did the rally, which is approximately 1,600 miles of rally. And as I said, it is a navigation challenge. It's less about speed, but it is about accuracy of navigation. And it's also very tactical. So 2022 was amazing. Now, myself and my teammate didn't have the best of times together, and that sometimes happens. But I had an amazing time, competing in the rally, driving off-road, and also spending time with an amazing tribe of people who seemed to be my people. I was surrounded by a group of incredible women who could do incredible things, and it just felt fantastic. So while the 2022 rally experience inside the car may not have been amazing, the experience outside of the car was spectacular. And I also got to see some incredible parts of the country that I don't think I would ever get the chance to have seen without this event. So straight after I got back from the 2022 rally, I met another captain and broker here in Fort Lauderdale, Shelley Morton, and we started chatting and I mentioned the rally to her and she had heard of it. So pretty soon I just kind of pulled Shelley in and said, okay, we're doing this, come on. And we did it and she was amazing. So Shelley and I started preparing my car. I bought a car that I knew could do the rally and was keen to take it in this event. And with that, we had to do some preparation on the car. We also had to do quite a bit of training ourselves. And Shelley is a navigator. We both have done navigation, but not of this sort. And I have to give Shelley full props for this. She was amazing. Her ability to calculate things out, her ability with the math behind, working out when we had got a wide miss, for example, she could calculate that back. And this is stuff that is well above my pay grade. So I'm immensely grateful to have had her in the car with me in 2024. We came out of the gate with all guns blazing and had an incredible first day. I think we surprised a lot of people, ourselves included, when we finished up in 7th place and got 94%, I think, of all the possible points. We're still wandering around asking ourselves if they'd made a mistake at that point. But from there, we started to encounter the challenges. Things got harder, and our level of tactical planning, perhaps, was one of the things that we both agreed, to do it again. We would want to step up our game with that. Shelley's navigation was so good, pretty hard to fault with that at all. I mean, she just did a great job. My driving could do with some improvement, and I would love to do more training with that. And I learned a lot along the rally as well with that. We did make one decision, or I guess I made this decision, um, to stick with the 20-inch rims that I had on the car when I bought it. What that means is that I had much less sidewall on the tyres and much less room for error, much less air to play with, and less cushioning. And consequently, we blew all the tyres. I think ultimately went through 5 tyres, also punctured a rim. There's some pretty rocky stuff out there at times. And here would be a good time to say thank you, Pirelli, for the sponsorship for the event, because they just kept throwing all the tyres at me. And that was amazing. And of course, the mechanic bay at our base camp were remarkable with installing these tyres as we were going. So that was great. But that's definitely something to learn and to take with me into the next one. So this is basically a pretty short version of the Rebelle Rally experience. Everything else about it is spectacular. It is one of the most amazing events I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. The organisation behind it is mind-blowing. The permits that they must pull a loan to be able to use all these public lands, to get access to private property at times, setting up the base camps, just that alone. The base camps are spectacular. When we do have them, they're epic. Right down to the big marquee, the main marquee. The food drew incredible team in the kitchens. And then, you know, we come in and set up our little tents outside and camp out there. So we're kind of roughing it, but there's some perks. Anyway, so that has been my experience up to date of the Rebelle Rally. I am hoping to enter it in 2025. I am entered into 2025, put it that way. I have been on the fence as to whether I can really pull it off this year or not. And it still remains a little bit undecided. I've done something a little bit silly, which I'll tell you about in another video. So there might be a small change of the 3rd team member. And actually, while I'm on that note, the Diva, our 3rd team member, my 2018 Land Rover Discovery, did a fantastic job. I think she surprised a lot of people. They tend to see her as a bit of a mall crawler and just a luxury car that shouldn't be taken out there, but she did sensational and really proved that the Land Rover heritage does run through the entire model range. It's not just the Defenders that are out there playing around, but this Discovery 5 did sensational stuff. So anyway, I've maybe made some changes to that lineup though for the 3rd team member, and I do still need a navigator for 2025. So let's see what happens with that. But in the meantime, this has been my experience with the Rebelle Rally. It has been remarkable. Even if I don't get to compete in 2025, it will not be my last rodeo. I am definitely coming back in the future to do another one of these, even if 25 is not the year. So I hope that gives you a bit of insight into the Rebelle Rally. For anyone who might follow me on my Instagram channel, you will have seen some more details about this on there. I haven't put too much about it on the YouTube channel, mainly because when you're in the thick of it, you're just really in the thick of it. So if you've got any questions about the Rebelle, drop them below. Again, like and subscribe if this is at all of interest to you. There will be more boating content coming, but life is about more than just boats. Hard to believe, but there is other stuff out there, and this was one of those amazing things. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.